This begins a set of recordings that are similar to the Jewish History Day series, 10-part series, where we went through the history of Macedonia and then into Persia. We also discussed the Antigonus or Suclidian dynasty that ruled most of Syria and Asia Minor, that fought with the Ptolemies. We also talked about the Suclidians who eventually took over the Syrian arena from the Antigonus. However, I want to go into how Maccabees viewed the Romans. There was a fairly positive relationship with the Romans in that Judas, one of the Maccabees, talks about the Romans in Maccabees 8:1-6. It says Judas had heard about the name of the Romans. He kosede Judeus to humata tonros, and they were mighty and gallant men, strong, and such would lovingly accept, or in petes, in document in petes pros thespum, and they would accept to themselves with enmity all that came to it, and they were men of great valor, and they brought and they would make league with anyone. So Judas thinks of the Romans as valuable. They were helpful to the Maccabees in that they constrained the actions of Antigonus IV Epiphanes. They restrained the rest of the Euclids. They've actually took over it. They talk about what they had done about the Galatians in To Galatias, and it talks about how they'd taken care of the country of Spain in Cota Hispanias for the winning of mines and silver. And their policy and patience with all that they've conquered. In other words, when they conquered, they had discomforted the enemies of Judah, both Philip, the original Greek Phileton, and Perseus, and they had actually been friends. This shows that Judas was looking to them as an ally. If you then see how that they had also fought against the company of the Media, and Dehia, Media, and Lydia, and the other countries which were not in favor of Jews, and the Greeks had determined to come and destroy them, but the Romans had won. And Elekos, Ebosolan, Even. So this has a strong knowledge. So Maccabees is writing this with a great deal of respect, indicating that when they had brought kingdom and isles that resisted them, they also had rewarded their friends. Into Phileno, Uton, Eton, Eparan, Pasu, Omene, Otos, Sun Eterana, Philim. So they could rely upon them and for friends. These were good allies, and Judas, in a small company, needed the good allies. So Maccabees actually speaks about them as good allies, as someone who did not wear a crown or clothed in purple or be magnified. This did change. But that they ruled by a Senate house where 320 men sat in council daily, and they might be ordered. So the early Romans with their Senate matched the Jewish tribal institutions, and that he mentions there they committed a government to one man. Sometimes later in Roman times it was two, but there was neither envy. So there was a great deal of respect. And it says how Judas chose Ephialus the son of John, the son of Alcas, and Jason the son of Eleazar, and sent them to Rome with a league of enmity. So he sends them to Rome, Eston Roman, to entreat them to make a league of unity and confederation, and to entreat them to take the yoke from them, from the Greeks that are oppressing it. Etones katadomentent ones ton Israel doma, that made Israel slaves. Therefore they went to Rome and they made a peace. So you see here, there is even indication inside the apocryphal literature in Maccabees, which the Jews accept, that there is a treaty with Rome. There is some sort of respect. Hopefully this gives you a bit of place you can use your Greek to actually dig into what was happening at the time and see the environment that the New Testament was written in. I hope this is also helpful as an augmenting portion to your study on Paul's letters. Thank you again.